without getting any power, but gonna kick into high gear soon.
Oh, Duke gonna get caught right now. Expression is gonna whimsy him, and that is it. Bold claim there. Wow, Flash Pulverize coming in. They're gonna knock Pure over. Bengi is there with a follow-up stun. Now Pure trying to get away with the Unbreakable. Bengi now on the pursuit. Isn't that turtle stance? Nice cocoon there from Chaser, and they're gonna slow him down. Flash stun onto Pure over the Dragon. They still have to deal with Duke in the top side too. He pushes that way forward, so that will
Duke just wading their way towards him. It's going to be a second Dragon. Longship. They can tie back. Pure's not in position.
Yeah, they don't have good vision either. They're trying for a steal right here. They won't get it. Chaser pushing right now. The rest of SK Telecom walking over, but this Baron is going to just fall immediately. There's the ultimate here from Coco coming through, and who's going to get it? Will be Chaser in the end, but Coco has his Zonia's got nearly no HP left. Faker now coming in, trying to get some Mystic shots down from behind. Coco actually lives through this. Duke, though, finds Chaser in the mid. He's going to hop over the wall. Flash used there, and Chaser will escape, actually, in the end. Nope, he's going to get found by Duke. Gold card onto Duke right now. Doesn't quite get the riposte on the gold card, but the chase is still on. Pure wants to try and save his teammate, but Faker there with the arcane shift, and now Wolf is getting quite low.
Them up. And what does Baron grant you? It's off the map, sure, but you're going to lose all your base. They might even lose the game right here.
I think they are going to do just that, Papa Smithy. They can just go ahead and tank these mid turrets. Those are going to be going down quite fast in the 280 carries and the Fiora. Here comes Expression, zooming out of this great wild growth, actually. 4-man hit. But is it going to be enough? Pure is tanky. I don't think he's quite there, and they're just going to focus the Nexus. Oh, it's going to be close, and they save the game. Ace for Longshu. And those are some long death timers. We'll see what they can do. This could just be a reverse right down the middle, Papa.
Two overly decisive calls. One of them loses Longshu the game almost. By a hair's breadth, they keep up that Nexus, and you're right, there's 40 seconds, and now Longshu's going to try and take him down.
Yeah, he's going to try and clear out this minion wave. Super minion's going to be going down quickly.
Oh, the delay from taking down this minion wave is going to be pretty immense, though. They need a minion wave of their own. I guess Chaser might be tanky enough. They have very good turret damage.
5 seconds on Duke, or on Wolf rather. He does have the Unbreakable Will, so he can stall him out. We do see 12 seconds now on Bengi. I don't think they're going to be able to finish right here, but this Kog'Maw is very scary. Go knock up, he's going to pop his ultimate immediately. Just trying to buy as much time as he can. They're going to try and base race this, and looks like Longshu is going to reverse this. Although Bengi comes in right now, they're going to try and focus down this Nexus. There we go, Gate going to come in. That's going to be too much. Longshu actually going to take it. And what a return on that game one. Back-to-back attempts at the Nexus. Longshu wins in the...
Disregard enemy damage.
They're going to take the Trundle this time. Fiora falling all the way through the draft, despite SKT's success with it, honestly, in the last as well. So very small advantages, and Faker's actually going to get jumped on, and there's the chain CC. Goodbye, Lysandra. From that stun. Now they're going to go into the river. There's the Chilling Spike coming down. They're going to find Chaser getting the 1 second stun onto him. And there we go. Lysandra coming in. 2 men blocked up already, but Faker's going to live through that ultimate. And now he's pinned up against the side by Poppy. Bengi trying to heal as best he can. Does stop up Pure. Bang actually firing from the outside right now. Duke is getting low, however, and he's going to die. So 2 kills over to Longshu
From SKT, and it should be the answering Dragon from Longshu.
Yep, that'll be their first Dragon. They're going to try and gank him, and that's Frozen Domain going down. Duke is going to get knocked up, and he's going to get tied up here. No chance. Ultimate after the W coming through, and Expression gets the credit for that kill. However, SKT is going to respond in the mid lane. They want this turret in return. Chaser try and get some damage out from the side. Bang in the front line. Actually, beautiful cocoon. Then it's going to force the flash and the wild growth. Now here's the TP coming through. Bang is very low. Bang is going to get killed by Coco. Great flank. And that is just a fantastic counterplay there by Udyr and the Lulu, and just trying to avoid these fights. And there we go. Culling going to come in. Bang has to be very careful. Goodbye. Nice ultimate right on top of Bang. He's getting a wild growth there, trying to get out of this one. But Captain Jack is going absolutely nuts with that Hurricane, and that is not a fight they wanted to take. Duke finds himself in the middle, but he is just dead. And wow, Captain Jack, you don't really want to take team fights like that against a 2-item Callista. That is right in the sweet spot of the Callista power spike. And Chaser is going to get out.
Chaser almost died to the bolt coming through from the Baron. They're going to keep DPSing it down. Expression is a tank in the front line. He's getting it low. It looks like it's going to leave the remainders to pick up this buff. At the same time, Faker's going to do some being super smart at not grouping up their threats.
Yeah, you almost actually never see that kind of grouping from top-tier Korean teams either. That's pretty fundamental.
Run, Coco.
Yeah, Coco can't actually win this.
Wait.
No, he's not going to.
So many melee champions. This Udyr really offers nothing in a siege sense.
Nope, but he does offer a hell of a lot of damage, and Coco has to use his Zhonya's. Faker going to take him out, but is that enough? The rest of Longzhu is just powering through the turret right now. They're trying to kill Wolf, but he's Wild Growth and at his ultimate, but Ren takes him out in the end. Goodbye, Bengi.
Duke's not grouping.
Nope, he's not. He is split pushing Papa Smithy. He's trading 2 inhibitors for 1, or
1 inhibitor turret.
1 inhibitor turret for 2 inhibitors, okay. Maybe not the best choice there from SKT.
This is peculiar, I gotta say.
I mean, I guess the logic.
Action that inevitably will come soon. Oh, wait though.
Yeah, Faker gonna get chain CC'd there, and as he's gonna live, has to Wild Growth himself in the end. Duke now getting into the mix, and he's gonna actually trap them in there, but especially comes in with the heroic charge. Duke trying to retreat, is going to get hit up by that Fate's Call, and that is going to be the end of him. As they pick up 1 kill in the skirmish, and now they're just going to try and go for the win. Very slowly picking away at these Nexus turrets. Longzhu doesn't have the HP, though, to actually finish this out right now. TP coming back in at the moment, so Coco on the re-engage. He's going to pop right in there, doesn't hit his W.
Well, that's going to be 3 inhibitors down if they want, but no, they're going to focus on this last Nexus turret.
Yep, that's going to be. And that last Nexus turret going down, Wolf is going to use his ultimate. Pure, very low, still uses that Unbreakable, walking forward. He is going to fall. Does take a lot of damage, though, and Longzhu going to actually probably win this game in under 30 minutes right now as Longzhu Gaming gets the 2-0 upset over SK Telecom T1.
And while the ult is going to take up a whole choke point, and how are Freaka going to kite away from that?
Yeah, this is going to be tough. So they're going to have to just rely on their veteran experience to sort of carry them.
Plenty of static vision for the next few minutes. Is at bottom.
Wow, just going to get stunned up right there on his Soul. Soul is just going to die. Ixu now down here with the TP advantage. Snowflower trying to give this one over. He may have to donate this. Nope, flash forward. There's the Caustic's middle. 1 more auto should do it. No, Braum grabs the first blood with the Winter's Bite, and Lyra will not lane on a Corki with Valkyrie up to start this off, so not really accomplishing anything with his gank, and then letting this Graves just keep on fire. Played so poorly around that TP edge. Knock up here, Lyra is there, but they are all in a 2v3. Ixu has no mana either. Lyra is just going to die, so pressure played poorly.
But they did. It was defensive pings. Everything was in order. Mickey goes in aggressive.
Wow, balking in with no knowledge up where the enemy is. Mickey falling low, and that TP from Poppy is just going to be useless. There it is, coming through. And it will be taken out, so fight initiated afterwards. Cougar's going to get in. Crush is actually pinned against the wall and dies nearly instantly. Cougar has his ultimate on. They pick up the first kill of the game onto Corki. Ixu on the side. Roach is moving forward, though. He's still got a lot of HP, and he's starting to put down those barrels, but he's going to get taken out by Sonyun. Sonyun, though, does have the Ignite on him, trying to hit somebody with that Acathian Surprise, but Edge way out of surprise range. And let's see, Ixu wants this kill, gets that passive from his auto attack, and he's gonna fall to another Dark Sphere from Edge. He's gonna try and contest this. GP ult used just as a zoning tool, and wow, Lyra goes 1 auto attack, 2 auto attacks. There we go. Mickey's going to take that one. GP knocked up right now. Fate's Call used. Fate's Call right in the back lines. Cougar's got 3 of them right next to him, but that's just not going to be enough as Mickey starts to flash forward, actually. Trying to take this one out. Mickey gets hit there by the Scatter the Weak.
Idea.
Well, they also can't stop it, so extra factors. No GP ult, no teleport, no nothing. Short sieging going forward. Soul actually has to flash out and gets the Fate's Call in. There's the GP ultimate, but that's just not going to be enough. Kalista dies to the Graves ult. They're continuing to push forward. Ixu
this is the stage of the game where a triple AD carry come, so little counterplay against it with one person dead. Free inhibitor. Just needs to buff up more when teams play it on the new patch, apply it to the old patch, and turns out he's pretty good already.
It's being placed there, and this is the Africa Freaks' chance to fight down, burst down this Baron, and they're going to go for it, but it's stolen by Crush. Crush gets into the pit and takes that Baron buff, but he pays for it with his life. Cougar, the next to fall, and now the pursuit for Africa. Edge here on the run, tossing that Dark Sphere. Snowflower barely out of range of the Winter Spy. He's going to try and ignite him, but there is a face of the mountain to keep him alive. And there's the end of Edge as he's slowly chipping through the inhibitor, and they will get at least 2 out of this. So with Edge dead for 30 seconds, seems like they can group and take all 3.
Have high life totals on everyone except Snowflower, so
she's going to go straight for the Nexus right now.
A bit greedy.
There you go. Take the 3 inhibitors back out. Go for a final push. That's how you... Same thing with the Spear to follow up right after it. Hunting Lyra out. That GP ult is just going to do nothing. Does zone them, however. Lyra does get low, and they do get a kill courtesy of Soul. Glacial Fissure used right there is just to disengage. Songyun, though, he's got the range, though, with the Bio-Arcane Barrage, and he's just going to flash forward. Doesn't quite get it, but that's going to be the death of Edge on this Syndra, and Mickey's still alive somehow. Snowflower jumping over to him, and that'll be the end of game number 1 here at 35 minutes. Mickey vouched to his demise one more time in this game, and they will use those super minions to take out the Nexus and the Nidalee at the end, and that'll be GG, first game to the Freaks.
Look, we weren't convinced about Africa's comp. They certainly will have their
time around. They have that Lulu for a few extra buffs and a safer laning phase. I am very concerned that Mickey is not going to be able to do much against this composition.
There is that potential, specifically in the late game, but honestly, probably not going to be a factor given we're expecting 4 V0 pushes.
So Africa mixing up the jungle pathing. They went from Wolf over to the blue buff. So they can try and 3-buff this, but the risk is that Soul and Cougar come into this lane. However, that is going to mean that the push is not really going to be there at the same time. Each team trying to take some sort of advantage right here. They have to be really careful. Roach is now here too, and they're going to go all in on this. Ixu and Lyra doing some damage. Snowflower and Mickey also there. First Blood comes in for Soul on Lucian, but Mickey picks up a kill in return onto the Alistar, but he's low. Roach slices his way to a second kill of the game.
Well, 4 kills at level 1.
Soul will fall too. Well, that was a really bizarre scenario, actually, that, you know, there's been some adaptation here to the lane swaps to punish. Ooh. Gotta be careful. There's a flash knock-up. Lyra is going to fall. Roach blasts him in the back, but Songyun has been
good strategy against one of these new teams. It's going to be strategically a little bit less flexible.
Mickey now chased away. This should be a free turret now for Songyun. That wave is absolutely huge. Level 6 hit. Snowflower is going to get tossed around. Ixu under the turret, but they get the tower in the end. Last hit from Ixu. They also kill... Oh, they don't kill Soul in the mix of that. Soul actually gets the kill right there, and that'll help out just a little bit with his levels. And no, that'll be just out of range. Mickey now dueling in the river, but another kill. Crush takes out Lyra, so an overextension in the bottom side. Soul makes his way around. Cougar threatens a combo and gets, instead of going to the wave, are they actually going to be able to take this? Nice Unbreakable. They'll be blocking that damage, and they're going to kill the minion wave, and that is a huge error from EM Fire. They really needed to get that turret. And now instead, Crush on the run, tunneling his way out. Ghost coming for the extra slow. Roach here is getting low, has to use the Summoner heal, and Callista will take it off and shut him down. Mickey now finds Soul. Soul only level 4. He's got no mana either to get out of this bind. Snowflower gets the kill onto Cougar. Crush now falls to Mickey. What is this?
Outweighs the gold this early into the game. Academic second dragon for Africa.
Sitting in that pink brush. Now he's going to distort over the wall. Roach is going to be here. There we go. To second distortion. Going to bait out that ultimate. He's still going in, actually. Yes, Observer, that was actually the clone you were looking at. Better days than today.
Not so fine today.
He is not so fine. He's Crush looking for an angle. There's a nice denial right there, actually, but Look at that, actually using the pop. No one to defend this. Africa does not have to turn, but they are going to turn all the same. Crush just going to get stunned there by a Braum passive, taken down, and they turn right back onto the Baron. Here we go, and it's going to be taken by a Ren from Songyu. Now the follow-up chase. Soul nearly 100-0. Lyra now, he's looking for the ult. Bam! Not, can't.
I feel like EM Fire have spent at least 80% of this game with their pants around their ankles. Dumbfounded by the situation they found themselves in.
It all went wrong from that fight in the jungle, which technically they won.
Yes, technically.
Technically they won that, but the reaction to that fight was much better from Africa, and they will just eject EM Fire from that defense with the help of a Poppy ultimate, and now this should be moving into the end of the game as all three inhibitors under attack, 2 already dead. The third one not too far behind. GB ult coming in right now though. Songyun is untouched, hopping around the outside of the fight, piling on those spears onto Crush and Googer, and that's going to be a couple of kills for Mickey and for Songyun. Roach now the target, but he does get out from the Fate's Call. Snowflower is still alive. Mickey has to W all the way back underneath the turrets. Triple kill for Songyun in the end of this game, and that'll be a 30-minute win here for Africa as they polish off the Nexus and take the 2-0. That, they don't even care. Everybody on Africa is just going to die, apparently, except for Songyun. He is the chosen one